Next up on the list, we have the Giants upset the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. This is a game that I'm excited to look through. I was really excited to be looking at it. Even when last week ended and I'm starting to look at next week's slate of games, I'm like, ooh, this Thursday night game is going to be a juicy one. It's going to be better than what people think. A lot of people underrating. A lot of people are underestimating the Giants right now. They have some really good pieces of their team. I like Brian Daboll. I don't like how he reacts to the reporters. I don't like how emotional he is with them. But the Giants upsetting the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football, I think it's a real possibility, man. I mean, the Cowboys have struggled to stop the run. They have one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. They actually do have the worst rushing defense. They've allowed the most rushing yards within the first 3 weeks, and considering the Colts gave up almost 500 within the first 2 weeks, I've seen it, man. You see the Colts stuff in the background. That's impressive to be worse than the Colts run defense right now, because the Colts run defense is horrendous. Now they kind of got fortunate against the Bears, but that's not the point. Besides that point, the Giants upsetting the Cowboys is very possible. That Giants defensive line is monstrous. That Giants defense is very good, and then their offense. The offense has a lot to be desired because of missed opportunities, I think. I think Devin Singletary and, I think he's an okay running back, but the offensive line doesn't give him any room to run. And that Dallas defensive line, I think they'll get going sooner or later, but I don't think it's going to be this game. I think, Daniel Jones is going to have a day running the football. I think that's going to open up things for Devin Singletary, which will then make passing the football easier to a guy like Malik Nabers, who's an absolute monster of a receiver. And then you still have Daniel Bellinger, good tight end. You have, Wan'Dale Robinson is a beast. Love Wan'Dale Robinson. The Giants have, they actually have a good football team. Could Daniel Jones step up? Could Daniel Jones, he's pressured a lot on the offensive line, sucks, and I think Daniel Jones can be a good quarterback, but, he needs to step up. There are quarterbacks out there that play really well without an offensive line because they have so many damn good weapons, and the Giants have some weapons, not as many as, say, for the Bengals we just talked about, but the Giants absolutely have a chance to upset the Cowboys tonight, Thursday night, whenever you're watching this. The Cowboys defense is not what it was last year. Don't get me wrong, it's a good defense, but it's not what it was last year. And then you look at the offense, it's not what it was last year. This offense is kind of like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. That's kind of all I see. And the Giants are going to limit that. The Giants are going to see that. They're going to know how to stop that. And they're going to pressure Dak Prescott all day long. Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau. Who's the other guy missing? They got from the Panthers. Brian Burns. They have so many good guys in that defensive line. They have some good linebackers. Bobby Okereke, he's been a beast for them. They have good safeties. Jason Pinnock has been good. Deontay Banks. They have so many good football players. It's kind of upsetting to see, it kind of be thrown away, by quarterback play has been good in the offensive line. The Giants can get some good quarterback play in there next year. A better offensive line. This Giants football team could be in the running to win the division. I think they could be a sneaky option to win the division this year if Daniel Jones can figure something out. We've seen Daniel Jones play good football, but the offensive line sucks too. So the offensive line isn't helping him. But if you look at this football team, they are very underrated. They can stop the run too. They're very good at stopping the run. And, let's look at their first couple of weeks. And, man, you played the Vikings. At first we're like, wow, the Giants are really bad. But then a couple of weeks later, look at the Vikings. They're smoking the Texans and beating the Niners. So, and then the Giants, they looked a lot better in week 2. If they had a kicker, they would have won that game against the Commanders, and they would be 2-1 and on top of the AFC or the NFC East. The Giants are a very underrated football club. Unfortunately, they are held back by quarterback play and offensive line play. Two things that you really cannot afford to not be good. You could have everything else damn near perfect, but if you don't have an offensive line and you don't have a quarterback, you're not going anywhere. But I do think that the Giants are going to upset the Cowboys tonight regardless. I think Daniel Jones has a good night running the football. opens things up for Devin Singletary, which then is going to open up the passing game. And, regardless if the passing game is open or not, Malik Nabers is going to have a night. But Giants upsetting the Cowboys, man, I'm going to go cool. I'm going to say it's likely. I think there's a good shot the Giants surprise a lot of people, and people start talking about this Giants team more after this week. So Giants upsetting the Cowboys, very possible in my eyes. Next up from Silver Savage, just got done talking about this guy, Malik Nabers. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, right now, Malik Nabers is just a bigger version of Antonio Brown. And that may sound crazy because Antonio Brown is a generational player, just really good at route running, but Malik Nabers is too. Malik Nabers has good hands. His route running is insane. And you want to know what really reminds me of Malik Nabers when I'm watching Malik Nabers and when I watch Antonio Brown play? When Malik Nabers cuts and changes direction, he speeds up. And that's what Antonio Brown did. And that's why Antonio Brown got so much separation. That's why AB was so good. When he went through cuts, he kind of got faster, which is so weird, and that is so difficult to defend. You have to be lightning quick if you want any shot. You just got to watch his game and know what he likes to do. You got to really be, some of the best defenders in the league to know and be able to cover Malik Nabers. He's going to be good. He's going to be one of the better receivers in the league in about a year, 2 years. He's going to be one of the better receivers. I could see it being, Jamar Chase, Jefferson, and Malik Nabers. I can see it. Honestly, I can see these three guys being the best receivers in the league. That is how highly I think of Malik Nabers. Okay? You drafted number 8 for a reason. But, could he cook Dallas's defense with 150 yards and at least 1 TD? Absolutely. I'm not talking trash on Trayvon Diggs. I'm not talking trash in this Dallas defense, but Trayvon Diggs does allow a lot of yards, man. He likes to jump things. He's very aggressive, and that's why he allows a lot of yards, because of his play style. And Malik Nabers is going to make him pay. Malik Nabers, great for the catch, too. I didn't mention that. He is phenomenal at the catch, and he's a really good blocker. He's a bigger version of Antonio Brown. Nabers is a beast. But Nabers, getting 150 yards and 1 touchdown, with a very aggressive cornerback on the opposite side of him, just always trying to get in interceptions. Malik Nabers is such a good route runner. All those double moves, all those cuts, it doesn't matter what it is. Unless Trayvon Diggs is right there with him, Nabers is going to beat him. And Nabers is going to have a big day. And that is going to be a big reason why I almost said Dallas Cowboys beat the Giants, but the Giants upset the Dallas Cowboys. But Malik Nabers will cook the Dallas defense, and people will see. It's a primetime game. People will see how talented Malik Nabers is. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go warm though. I know I just said it's very likely, but at the same time, that's a lot of yards. Quarterback play kind of stinks. Offensive line kind of stinks, but Malik Nabers you can still get the ball to him quick, and he'll make a couple of plays, a couple guys miss. But Nabers is absolutely capable of, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it this week with Daniel Jones, and I think Jones is going to be pressured a bit because of how bad the offensive line is.